laurels in the world. I have young filmmakers come up to me and say, give me some advice for doing this. And I say, don't put limitations on yourself. Other people will do that for you. Don't do it to yourself. Don't bet against yourself. And take risks. NASA has this phrase that they like, failure is not an option. But failure has to be an option in art and in exploration, because it's a leap of faith. And no important endeavor that required innovation was done without risk. You have to be willing to take those risks. So that's the thought I would leave you with, is that in whatever you're doing, failure is an option, but fear is not.
So this is going back to 1976, I think. And this was for a film project that never went anywhere. The thing that's interesting about it is that I've already got a tall, hot blue girl in that movie. Her name wasn't Neytiri, and it was in a completely different context, but I was already thinking about it then. A lot of stuff comes to me in dreams, and I remember it. Sometimes I write it down, sometimes it's an image, and I'll go draw or paint that image. I remember it. Waking up from a dream in college, and I remember this very clearly, having leafed through a book of paintings and waking up and saying, wow, I wish I could paint like that. And saying, wait a minute, dummy, you just painted all those paintings in your head. Now paint them for real. And I quickly painted as many of them as I could remember. One of them was a glowing forest with a river of light running through it and trees that kind of looked like fiber optics. Well, guess what? Cut to 30 years later, I'm making a movie where we're spending millions of dollars to actually create that image. But that image came in a dream when I was 18 years old.
The one that says, just do it. Just pick up a camera and start shooting something. Don't wait to be asked, because nobody's going to ask you. And don't wait for the perfect conditions, because they'll never be perfect. It's a little bit like having a child. If you wait until the right time to have a child, you'll die childless. And I think filmmaking is very much the same thing. You just have to take the plunge and just start shooting something. Even if it's bad, you can always hide it, but you will have learned something.
Of your success?
I mean, for me, I would say it's all driven by curiosity and the desire to be personally challenged. Mm-hmm. Those two things. I can sum it all up, and I don't know if it's a formula for success. It's just what drives me. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious. I want to know more. I choose projects that I'm going to learn from. I choose projects that are challenging. I don't want to do the same thing twice. Mm-hmm. So I think personal challenge. Trying to strive for excellence. And to me, in filmmaking, the excellence is how excellent can the entertainment experience be for the audience. I'll pull out all stops to do that. These are storyboards for the Terminator. The Terminator was actually my best prepared film that I've ever shot, because I storyboarded every shot myself. I found that kind of everything that I had been doing before all flowed perfectly to that moment of film directing. And, that's the first time I ever really felt like I belonged where I was. But, now I look back on it, and every single thing that I learned at that time has paid off for me. How to drive a truck, how to be a machinist. Even being a high school janitor and scraping the gum off the bottom of the desks, even that was something that I value now. It was something that I needed to go through.